come as I was, and before I've been. I'll always be looking too far from out under the tree. I've been working out there like a lot to do at night. I don't know where I've been or what I've seen or said even some days. Actually, most of the time I remember pretty much everything I've ever known. If I have said no, I don't remember that or forgot myself saying that, I probably was joking around or lying for some reason. Myself personally, if I forgot myself I'd lie, I would fucking die. There would be no knife, like I said in the say such showing of if I had a knife, needle, such point. I'd be besides the fact if I mentioned the fact of point. I might have said fact, but it might have sounded fact at first. But at the same time, I said, well, at the same time, I don't always have a microphone close to my mouth, but I'm sure if it works like that sometimes. Subtitles are just as good to a blind man needing some morse. Could I get some remorse about it? Can you read my lips? What are they saying, mate? I can't read some lips when the tongue itself doesn't move up and down. It sits in such a position. It doesn't go like this when a normal person is talking. Because someone who talks without needing a tongue to say the words that I want words being said, because I can't say anything with my mouth if my tongue is in such position, then how are these words coming out clear? Am I got deafness? Am I in a mind? Am I got earphones on and I'm not even talking right now? Or am I just speaking straight out of my mind? Like out of my mind, wink wink, my eyes. Am I just speaking such light through the eyesight of my knowing nose that I don't need to know? Well, why would such thing become off to the earth if it didn't need to present itself for no reason? I wouldn't want to know that, but I don't want to know why it would. Why would it even bother about being where it was if it had no reason to become at this earth at time of such thing? All I know is before there was a day of time, there was no night of life even before there was a light in time. I wouldn't question such a thing for all I've ever known. Fuck, Mum, that's pretty bright. Can I get some glasses, please? As well as, fuck, Dad, that's pretty warm. Can I get some shoes out there on those stones I'm walking on these days? As well as, fuck, Mum, that's pretty not scary at night when the wind's blowing on my windows and trees and that in the leaves and shit. Do I even need this house? It was a bit safer out the back, Mum, when we were just living out there. The wind was much easier to deal with. I was blowing over my skin. I didn't have to worry about, oh, shit, what was that out there in the curtains and that? I was, oh, yeah, sweet. All good and that, you know. These days, though, kids get a bit scared when they're born because, oh, what's them? Oh, shadows and, oh, shit. They're not feeling the wind when they're born because they got no windows open and aircon instead, and it's not the same sort of thing, you know. Yeah, but at the same time, ancestral lines have gone on through that jurisdiction of times and aircons of conic areas. The conic stare or the stare of a conic sing like the shadows, mama, shit. Everyone's seeing shadows these days. They're not too sure about what's coming down the stairs. Is it Blinky Bill, bananas in pajamas, or John wants to pajant? Japan and Japatanted. The ain't chance. Any chance a chance? Well, the ancients, well, they've been and gone, the ancients. They're a different ancestral line. This is type line ancestral life. Ancestral life these days is homosexuality. Ancestral is homosaply. And his aptly is a light to light. Well, it'll into life. There's such upon a time of times in the justification of an introduction of all time. It doesn't always go right in my life, you could say. Yeah, it has done that before a few times. Sometimes there's worse to wear and wears of worse as that. Sometimes the hat gets lost in the wind like I was before this, that was that, looking for this now that I'm not that as I am. Sometimes too many people have the same hat with so many crumbs in it and not their own crummic thought, which is like a croach in a crab or an crummic thought of a Harry Potter. You know, the crumb is on the big team of, I think he's comes in from a different school and he's playing in that, when they have that competition on in there, Freedom Mazes and that, a crumb I think his name is. And he's the big one, the monster, but Harry wins anyway. Because Harry is not a Harriet or a Harriet type. Harry doesn't hurry along the lines. If Harry was Harriet, then Harry would the hurriest win. But a hustle to flow and a flow to hustle out, his life is the hustle eat. For in life I life adjourn it. And I adjourn in life a lot, and I journal life to the life of Sign-a-Loft Key. When I made my life, I had the theory of Sign-a-Loft Key, and in that theory I included such citable things and scenes of silent lights. There's that which is the soul life, and the soul is light of life. The leaf of life is light as the spirit will life and lit. And the lit of life will life of soul, and life will soul behind all spirit lift. And so each spirit's lift is one ancestral life. which are all green inside as the spirit gives. Then the soul watches each life on the tree and watches and goes for all nature's bounds of every time I've ever given time of life to for the Silent Love Key. And if the doctor on the tree which watches spirit be born ever sees spirit born off time of conscious brain and conscious model of mind awareness thought, then presentationable will the life itself become apparent in life and form, which is when the light angle, the angle light, which is I the Lord of life, and the life in which is I the Lord is life, becomes in life as aggressive nature. That's after everyone done wrong to and done as the wrong action to for fear mounting from fear done for fearful action in nature has been taken to the loft. And then I bring them in return interest after the work has been done for the doctrinating of the medical light. And then everyone will see what will be seen by everyone on the earth, for it will be seen that it has to be seen for life to return to its natural nature and its bounds of industrial nature. Otherwise, bounded life will collapse, and life would have to stop, and I'd have to begin life again. And why would I allow that to happen? Well, I wouldn't allow that to happen. That's what I made my Silent Love Key for, before I invented nature and nature's life in the mind of that which becomes sight within the mind of the brain. And that is why it goes like this, and that is why the Lord presents. For the light angle, the angle light, that is I the Lord in nature, am of light in life, and I the life of life, in light in life, and the light angle or the angle light. I don't need light, and I'm not in light's bounds of life and light. But within life's knowing is there always one born in nature known. And within nature's know of life's born again, warring against of a born's nature out of life and bounds, the Lord will arise in time, when the time can be modeled into psychological satellite form. The satellite force is that which is in nature's bounds. For the moment there is wrong nature or in nature's native bounds being out of nature form, the inventive of in the Silent Key theory becomes of satellite. And so technology's bounds straight to where satellites now are. So that the moment that one is taken from wrong acting nature, they're put to the satellite, and they're up there in space, living in a hotel, motel, holiday inn. And then from the time that all were taken to the time I become, when technology is at this age now and the satellites are actually here present, then the Lord comes, and all them that are in the loft return to the ground, as like I said, Skywalkers or, Jedi. And then those which are done the wrong nations or the nations out of bounds in nature's own nature of light glorification, will see the temperamental, terrestrial nature of what life means and what life actually presents as in life. And then nature will carry on to its end of jurisdiction at the end of this ancestral walk, which is about halfway currently. It still has about 50,000 spins or durations of 2027 or 2017 years to go now, to complete the 100,000 years of one ancestral line. That's right, and correct. And so when that happens, it happens in the way that it happens. It doesn't always happen, obviously. But when it does, it's in life's Silent Love Key that it could happen, and when it could happen, there's always preventive measures to sign it back into shape of nature's own justification of where it will end up to. For good can be bad, and bad can be good, but in the end there'll be no bad or such thing as good, or bad as not bad as good. For in the end, life will be, and life will always be complete. Which means that life is always complete before life could be completed or completely interested or interesting in life itself to be known. For before knowing life was knowable, there was nothing for life to know but knowing such self as self it would make of itself, to become of that which is always completed by the completion of that which is its time in life. Goodbye. But nothing ever means that. No, nothing ever means that. Something did mean that. Well, it come from a long way away to mean just what it said as that, which it said as means that. Well,